Hey, what's up, my little tattletales? Yo, come in, sit down, and shut the door. I think we just exposed Kim and Pete for their plot to take Kanye down. Remember when I said I thought it was a plot? That they were like, Kanye's bullying Pete, and Pete's had been in trauma therapy since then. And I said, this is all cap, and it sounds like they're gearing up for a lawsuit. Y'all, I think I found the receipts to show that it was all cap, and they were both working together. Second of all, it's National Let's Expose a Hypocrite Day, because, baby, I did a little bit of digging. Yes, I did. And guess what? Kim Kardashian is out here calling Kanye a hypocrite, talking about bullying, cyber, and all this stuff, and she'll do anything to protect Pete. When, mama, did you forget you did the same thing to Taylor Swift? Or even worse? Oh, yeah, that's right. The internet might forget, but you know Tisa doesn't. Y'all for consider me the petty oracle. But back to Pete. Him talking about he's been in trauma therapy. Him talking about this. Him talking about, baby, I got a receipt from 2020, an interview, source his own mouth, when he lets us know that everything he's saying about Kanye cannot be true. Are y'all ready to get into this? Y'all want to expose some snakes? Y'all want to see how this little scheme to take down Kanye ain't never gonna work? And I don't care what anyone says. Again, this is my opinion. Pete has always been intimidated and jealous of Kanye. You want to talk about somebody being obsessed? He's been obsessed with Kanye for years, making jokes about him on Saturday Night Live. Now, this is all I want to say. Pete is making jokes about Kanye on Saturday Night Live. It is his right. He's a comedian. He can do what he wants. But why, when you're just like, so let me get this straight. It was something, and this isn't the receipts, it's just me doing a side rant. It was okay for you to publicly disrespect him and mock him for whatever, right or wrong, on the #1 syndicated, nationally televised comedy show that all of America watches, right? Saturday Night Live is a phenomena. But when he takes to Instagram, all of a sudden you can dish it out, but you can't take it. All of a sudden he crossed the line. All of a sudden you're in trauma therapy. Well, guess what, baby? Let's get into the receipts, because it looks like Pete's been in therapy since 2020. And guess what? That mofo got 2 therapists he sees a week. I know. Y'all, you know what? Let's start with Pete's cap, and then we'll get to Kim and how she's been exposed for not even being a hypocrite, but she is one of the biggest cyber bullies out there. And yes, we do have the receipts, and it's from none other than Miss Taylor Swift's mouth. For those of y'all that don't remember Snakegate, oh yeah. And guess what? You want to talk about Kanye putting up a post? Guess what, mama? Kim actually made a t-shirt, and I think they were selling them. Y'all, let's get into these receipts. Hit like, subscribe, comment, do something to encourage this mess. Okay, y'all ready for this? Let's get into this. And no, Kim ain't gonna be bad, but guess what? Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. All right, first with Pete. Okay, so here's the article that started it all, and I was like, what is this cap? But there's an interesting paragraph in there I want you guys to listen to. And listen, see the evidence, tell me what you think at the end, but please wait till the end of the video before you actually comment, all right? Now here we go, just because there's so much you got to know. Anyway, Kim Kardashian is very supportive of Pete Davidson going to therapy. Kim Kardashian is very supportive of Pete Davidson's decision to seek help after being bullied by her ex-husband Kanye West. Since news first broke that Kim and Saturday Night Live star have been dating, Kanye's been taking shots at Davidson online, even giving him the nickname Skeet. And Skeet, crunchy sock, Dorito toe shoes. Come on, stop. This is Pete Davidson that literally made jokes about R-ing a baby. This is Pete Davidson that goes in on anybody anytime he wants. Since when have comedians become protective class? Your whole job is to get up and talk trash about people and get people to laugh at other things. And now all of a sudden, you guys are protected class? If y'all get out of here, please. Anyway, right? They said Kim and the King of Staten Island star split last week. Kanye posted a newspaper cover announcing the death of Skeet. Okay, listen, I will say one thing. Pete is getting the benefit of his bargain. Man said, listen, I had to act like I was cuddled up to Kim Kardashian for half weeks. For how many weeks? For how many months? Baby, you going to refer to all my movie roles. They are going through his whole IMDb. The Saturday Night Live alum, the Stars of the Magician, the what are they talking about? The star of the King of Staten Island, the Bodies actor. That's right, you better get the benefit of that bargain. Now get this, right? Kim was very supportive of Pete going to therapy. Kanye was very detrimental. He was posting negative things. Now add thousands and thousands of comments. Someone has to work with you to deal with something like that. Okay, first of all, and I will say this. Pete claims to have zero social media. He gave us social media a while back because he said it wasn't right for his mental. And a lot of people say that, not faulting him at all on that. However, wow, how'd this happen? You have no Insta. You have no Twitter, unless you have a burner handle. You have no social media at all. So how are you seeing all these comments? Are you on there? Are people sending them to you? What's going on? Now, here's where it started to be like, this sounds all cap. You're going to get into the receipts in a second, but let's get into the cap first. They said Pete has also received deletion threats from Kanye's fan, which is partially why he has been in trauma therapy in April. Now, again, words matter. What did we just learn? You've received threats to delete yourself from Kanye's fans. That's partially why he's been in trauma therapy, because partially doesn't mean fully. It just means that it's one of the reasons. And also, not since April, but in April. So you went to trauma therapy in April because Kanye's fans were sending you deletion threats. Are we on the same page? This is what it is. He went on to saying, getting deletion threats from Kanye's fans and all the negative attention online doesn't feel good for the average person. As someone who struggled with mental illness, and it's even worse. Again. Now, let's look at that. Pete, if you're not on social media, where are they sending these threats to? Do they have your personal email address? Are they sending it to your Pinterest, your Tumblr, your MySpace? Seriously, are they standing in the store waiting to see if anybody smells like 3-day-old pajama pants and Fritos when they walk by looking for you? How are they getting this to you if you have no social media? That was the first thing, as you guys know, that made me think like this is all cap. But let's talk about, this is what made me actually start thinking, the partially in therapy part. Because, y'all, in an article that was dated February 25th, 2020 at 11:19 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, it was published. Pete let out a few nuggets. Let's hear what he says. Pete Davidson thinks he can be a red flag until you meet him, right? He thinks, again, anybody that meets him, especially girls he's dating, thinks he can be a red flag. However, he shared that he's somewhere between bipolar disorder and borderline personality disorder on the mental health spectrum. He summed up the last 2 years with a expletive they can't repeat. But get this. He goes on to say, why did he have to go to rehab? He had gotten out of control. He was doing a little bit too much shrooms, a little bit too much acid, and having a little bit too much fun and not sleeping, not taking good care of myself. Then, when you're not sleeping and you have a mental illness and you're doing all this and you're taking your meds and you mix all this, you just go a little nuts. Yes, it's called addiction, but thank you for putting a cutesy spin on it. Now, here's the thing. Kudos to Pete for actually conquering his demons and doing what he can to keep his demons at bay. But this is the interesting part about how he keeps his demons at bay. For one, he likes clipping himself. He says it's a release. It's like getting a tattoo. But more importantly, there was a big nugget he hid in there that blew the roof off of him ever being responsible. Out of Kanye ever being responsible for him being in therapy and trauma therapy. Get this. Now, post-rehab, Pete says he goes to therapy twice a week to 2 different therapists that have different approaches. If he starts clipping himself, they tell him it's time for him to go back into rehab. He said whenever you're so manic and upset, but his therapist and rehab have taught him to take a cold shower, Okay, great that you learned to conquer your demons. But you guys, do you hear what he just said? You're blaming Kanye West for being in trauma therapy, even though you said it was only in April, and you said it was partially because of Kanye. Partially implies it's in part, but not whole. Partially said, and it's very, very vague, but in your own words, in an interview, you said that you've consistently been in therapy since rehab, and you consistently see not 1, but 2 therapists. Other articles let Pete know that Pete says he has been in trauma therapy since he has been younger, dealing with, unfortunately, the loss of his father. Now, again, kudos for Pete for getting help. Takes a strong person to even share this. But it makes me wonder that why are you trying to dump all these things that you say you deal with? Manic, depression, mania, deletion thoughts, all these things that you deal with on a regular basis. You're now trying to dump at Kanye West's feet. because you put up an Instagram post. Now let's talk about this Instagram post and how Kim's willing to do anything to protect Pete. And Kanye was out of line, baby. You should know because you're one and you do the same type of post. Oh, you don't believe me? Just watch. Also, hit that like, subscribe, notification, baby. It's YouTube. You know what to do. Let's get into this. Okay, so while Kim was busy helping Pete pay victim, Taylor Swift entered the chat and said, Kim, this you? The internet pulled up this, where Kim Kardashian said, wait, it's legit National Snake Day? They have holidays for everyone. I mean, everything these days, and a bunch of snake emojis. What does this have to do with Taylor Swift if you guys don't know? Miss Kimmy Crakes mobilized her fan base group for what appeared to be a takedown of Taylor Swift. That's right. Kanye and Taylor got in an argument over whether he had permission to use some stuff. Kim jumped in, called Taylor a liar, called her a snake, and at this point, I think she had 150 million Instagram users and followers, mobilized them to literally spam Taylor Swift, calling her a snake and calling her all sorts of things. Not only that, in the article in May 19, 2018, Taylor broke her silence about Kim Kardashian calling her a snake, right? She literally said, a couple of years ago, someone called me a snake on social media and it caught on. Then a lot of people were calling me a lot of things on social media. I went through some really low times for a while because of it. I went through some times when I didn't even know if I was going to get to do this anymore. She was talking about after Kim posted a string of snake emojis and had her followers post them on Taylor Swift's Instagram account. Listen. She said, I wanted to send a message to you guys that if someone uses name calling to bully you on social media, even if a lot of people jump on board, that doesn't have to defeat you. It can strengthen you instead. Oh, that's right. Kim Kardashian, who's standing there saying, I 100% support Pete, and Pete's the best person ever. And how dare you, Kanye? Mama, you've done the same thing. You did it to Jordan Woods. You did it to Taylor Swift. You did it to a lot of people. And for y'all saying, oh my God, there's no correlation. Kim didn't want her fans to bully her. I submit evidence. I present exhibit, shut this ish down. A shirt was made in memory of Taylor Swift, 1989 to 2016, RIP, because Kim Kardashian was supposed to end her. Again, Taylor said it was a dark time. I'm not even arguing whether she deserved it. I'm literally saying that Kim has a nerve to be sitting up here accusing anyone of bullying, cyberbullying, or any of that mess. Well, Mama, you literally wrote the blueprint for it. Anyway, my little tattletales, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Bye.